The chant of 1940 is not being heard on the island anymore. Maybe they're not ready to call him that on the island, but they are in Manhattan. They are playing his style of hockey. In 180 minutes of Mark Messier and New York Ranger action, the Islanders have been totally torn apart. A primary reason, Mike Richter in net. 1 goal allowed in 3 games. 71 saves on 72 shots. Offensively for the Rangers, no team in the playoffs this season has scored more goals than they have. What all this means for the New York Rangers is this: to another Stanley Cup. Take to the ice at home. They are trying to avoid what has never happened to a team here before. They have never been swept in a 7-game series. In those situations, they have won all 5 times when they've been down 3 games to none. And that is the situation today. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and Al Morganti. Welcome to ABC's coverage of the National Hockey League playoffs. The New York Rangers, Bill Clement, have been absolutely dominating in this series.
Gary, I think the first thing the New York Islanders have to do today is avoid being scored upon on the first shot. That has happened in every game so far. Ron Hextall will start in goal for the New York Islanders, and this morning at a team meeting, he was going to suggest to his coaching staff that if his defenseman can't move the big Rangers from out in front of him, leave him there to create a smaller screen. We'll know whether that suggestion was accepted early in this game. From a Ranger standpoint, naturally Mike Richter gets the start again. I think if ever the word flawless could be applied to a performance in a series, Mike Richter's performance deserves the adjective flawless.
And that's one of the reasons why that adjective can also be applied to virtually the entire New York Ranger team, coached by a guy who came into this season known for bullying his players. Mike Keenan says, no more. I am now a man at peace with myself, and it's showing up on the ice.
Brian Leetch and the New York Rangers are just 1 victory away from sweeping the rival New York Islanders. They can do that this afternoon.
Both teams worried about chippiness, so was the league. Nothing called as a result of those incidents in Game 3. Shot by Melikov, deflected to the far side. So all those players who might have had action taken against them are in this game for the Islanders. Leetch knocked it away to Thomas. Thomas flares it up. Benoit Hogue, power play for the Islanders. Hogue can't handle it. Bukaboom raining hard into the glass. Hogue back up to the point. Uwe Krupp there. His shot blocked. Thomas, his shot and score!
Well, the Islanders have done what they had to do. Terrific puck movement on the power play, but it was a broken play that led to the puck coming right to Steve Thomas. Uwe Krupp's shot was deflected out by the point. You know, the Islanders' very crisp puck movement, the best puck movement on the power play in this series, and the Rangers actually took the bait. The Rangers penalty killers got running around a little bit. Nobody was in position back down low when the broken play ended up on Steve Thomas's stick.
Hey, guess what? That was the Islanders' first shot of the game. So all 4 games, the first shot taken by one of the teams has resulted in a goal.
Good size to be a hitter.
22 years old, 3 years at the University of Wisconsin in a minor league season this year. As Bill said, a dozen games with the Islanders during the season. Richter came out, put a pretty good shot on Plot. In front, Plot scores!
Well, did Al Arbor have a hunch on this one, or what? There is Dan Plante getting picked on the play by Mike Richter. That was more Richter taking Plante out, and then Plante just went back out in front and parked there waiting. Sure enough, something good happened to him. Beautiful pass from Pierre Turgeon. It just had enough steam. Dan Plante played a dozen games during the regular season for the New York Islanders. No goals. He played 66 games in the minors this year, only 7 goals. This is goal number 1 for this kid in the National Hockey League, and boy, what a big time for it.
And Mike Keenan is not happy about the play going on. He's arguing, I think, that Plante took the shot at his goaltender, Mike Richter, behind the net rather than the other way around. And it's getting heated. These two teams went at one another in the press after Game 3 to the point of where both GMs called the league about potential chippiness in this game.
Well, to me, Dan Plante on that play was simply trying to go for his man.
And Richter was trying to pick him.
Well, if nothing, it was at least accidental. Mike Richter turned around, and there he was.
Yep.
Oh, no, Mike Richter sees him coming. There's no question Richter was braced for that.
He was freeing the puck up for his own player.
Sure, which any goaltender would do in that situation.
So, in the first 7.5 minutes of this game, the New York Islanders have scored more goals than they did in the previous 3. They have taken a 2-0 lead on the Rangers as Plante gets his first goal ever in his National Hockey League career, and what a start he has had in this game. 22 years old, 6-footer, 13th NHL game overall, and he has come out firing. His goal at 7:24 from Turgeon and King has given the Islanders a 2-0 lead.
Well, you can see what he did in Salt Lake City in the International League this year. 7 goals and 17 assists for 24 points, but that 148 penalty minutes is one of the reasons he is in the game, and we have already seen how well he uses his body. I mean, what a physical player.
The Islanders are trying to catch up to the Rangers in scoring with fewer shots. They have now scored 2 goals on 2 shots in this game. Starting a run for the Conn Smythe MVP of the playoffs. Zubov the hit. Puck freed up in front. Ray Ferraro. Great save by Richter. Rebound. Turnaround shot deflected off Richter's stick. LaChance holds it in. 2 chances for the Islanders. Richter got one, lucky on the other one. Thomas deflected it wide as Lowe knocked him down. Kerry Fraser's going to let him play. The good hard hits coming here. Fraser right there watching, and he's letting them go at it, and they are. Limer starts it the other way. Steve Limer, wide side. Kovalev. Good play on the check penalty coming up. Melikov moved in, but a hooking call coming here. Clearly has the Hextall fire going. Still a power play for the Rangers. 35 seconds left on it. 2-0 Islanders leading here in the first. Adam Graves waiting for help. Graves looking. Limer cutting. Couldn't get it to him. Kovalev back to the point. Zubov. Hextall the save. Didn't see the rebound. Still loose. Kovalev scores! Oh, what a pass! What a great setup!
Ron Hextall absolutely screaming at referee Kerry Fraser, and he had to be screaming about Adam Graves, who was standing in front. Here's the shot from Zubov. Graves is to the side, being held out by Dennis Vaske, and then when the play finally came back out and Kovalev made a terrific shot here, one-timer, Adam Graves was standing by himself. See Ron Hextall knocked down. Adam Graves did bang into him, but I really think it was because Dennis Vaske crowded him back into the crease. Take a look at Vaske, 37, back into Adam Graves. Graves couldn't have gotten out if he'd wanted to. Now the shot, Graves was clearly out of the crease at that time, and Dennis Vaske, the New York Islanders, number 37, is the guy that pushed him back into Hextall.
There's Vaske battling in front, and the Rangers cut the lead to 1-1 on a power play goal, getting it on their 8th shot of the game. Kovalev did not miss that one. He didn't have a lot to shoot at on the near side.
He doesn't need a lot. We've seen him the last little stretch here, the last month of the season. He needs about a window of 8 inches by 8 inches.
He now has 4 goals in this series, leading all goal scorers in the series. Out through center. That's the second shot, goes in wide, and we have completed a period of play. Thomas and Plante scoring for the Islanders. Kovalev for the Rangers. And what a first period for this kid. It is 13th NHL game, his first playoff game ever. Dan Plante picked up his first NHL goal. It's the Islanders 2 and the Rangers 1.
Those of you watching the New York Rangers and New York Islander game, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll try and get them straight, and we will take you right back out to Nassau County Coliseum as soon as we get things fixed. We'll be back in a moment. We have now solved the technical difficulties out on the island, and so have the New York Rangers. They've come back to tie this game 2-2 after being down 2-0 at one point in the first period. So let's take it back out now to Gary Thorne and Bill Clement at Nassau County Coliseum.
John, thanks very much. The Rangers have come back to tie this game up on a power play right here.
The dynamic pair. Look how far apart they stand, Leach and Zubov. When the pass is completed, Zubov had all kinds of time. Looked like it may have been deflected in front, but Ron Hextall had no chance, and the Rangers are now back on another power play.
2-2 game.
And it has been a tough go in the second period for the New York Islanders. Here is the interference call on Ron Hextall when Sergei Zubov blew this shot by him. The Islanders had to send somebody to the box to serve this penalty. In actuality, what happened is, because the Rangers were already on the power play, that goal wiped out the power play they were on, but the delayed call had to be served. So that was the interference call that led to the subsequent power play from the New York Rangers.
Which they did not convert on, but they do have 2 power play goals in 4 chances. That power play has made a real difference during the regular season and here too.
They don't make the mistake that a lot of young defensemen make in assuming that the wall, that the boards are going to be their best friend. They don't just wheel it around.
Once again, we are suffering technical difficulties on Long Island. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers tied at 2 apiece. While we get things straight, we're going to once again take you back out to the St. Louis Blues and the Dallas Stars, to Tom Mees and John Davidson. Gentlemen. All right, Tom and JD, thanks a lot. We, of course, will keep you updated on that game, but we've solved the problem between the Islanders and the New York Rangers. So, once again, we're going to take it back out to Nassau County Coliseum. The Rangers now with a 1-goal lead to Gary Thorne and Bill Clement.
Back here at the Nassau Coliseum, McTavish taken down by Dean Chenault, and they are into it with the sticks up. The New York Rangers have taken a 3-2 lead for the first time in this game just moments ago. Mark Messier, his 90th career playoff goal unassisted to put the Rangers up 3-2.
Well, when it was on the line, Mark Messier took over and scored the go-ahead goal for the New York Rangers. You pick up the play right here. The Islanders just move it to the side, and that wouldn't have been a problem had Malakoff been able to control it. But watch Mark Messier take off. As he takes off, we stop it right here. There's a hole right here between Ron Hextall's pads. Messier is going to move it this way, which forces Hextall to open his legs even further. Watch. And stop it right there. There is the 5-hole. That is the only spot Mark Messier could shoot for, and he nailed it before Hextall could close it up.
The 90th. He is 3rd all-time in playoff goal scoring. Unassisted on this one.
And that was the move that was so key for Mark Messier. He had the puck on his backhand, pulled it to his forehand, and that forced Hextall to open him up.
There they are. Gretzky's number 1, Yari Curry, and not that far behind anymore is Mark Messier. And the Rangers have a 3-0 lead. Dean Chenault and McTavish go for roughing at 11:27, so we'll skate 4-on-4. The shots are 17-8 in favor of the New York Rangers. The Islanders have not had a shot on goal in 10.5 minutes.
This is bizarre. I mean, look at this. Where else can you go and not hear a predominant home crowd? I mean, it's pretty even. I think the noise level is about 50-50 in here.
You look at the numbers here at the Nassau Coliseum for the Rangers, winning in the last game here, but only their 3rd in all those years. A very tough place to play.
There have been 2 predominant chants. The one by the Rangers fans is sweep, sweep, sweep. The one by the Islanders, 1940, 1940. And those are the 2 chants that keep going back and forth.
It drives people crazy. There's the 40 sign the Islanders make sure is prevalent here. people here at the island have to put up with the Ranger fans. At the Meadowlands where the Devils play, it's the same thing. The Ranger fans all go over there and give almighty heck to the New Jersey Devils cheering for their team. Love down by Derek King. 4 seconds left to go. King drops it off. And Turgeon trying to get a last shot off, does wide, but that will do it. We've completed 2 periods here. And the New York Rangers have a 3-2 lead. Richter in net and Messier the goal. His 3rd of this series and the 90th of his career. The 3rd all-time leading goal scorer in playoff history has given the Rangers a 3-2 lead. Gary Fraser will have penalties coming. RF's a storyline. The Rangers scoring the last 3 goals to take the 3-2 lead. Messier, the go-ahead goal unassisted. Leach, you see what he has done in playoff points, leading the National Hockey League thus far in scoring, and power plays have mattered for the Rangers.
Now here's the goal that made it 2-2. The Rangers comeback. Sergei Zubov with a huge blast that went over Ron Hextall's left arm. I mean, slow-mo doesn't do the speed of that shot justice, but it was a rocket. And then Mark Messier near the end of the second period with this 5-hole shot between Ron Hextall's legs made it 3-2. That's what we have right now.
15:30 remaining to go in this 3rd period. Turgeon back to get it for the Islanders. This season could end if they do not come back in this game. Dropped it off for LaChance. Larmer on the hit. Bansky came in to help, gave it up. In front, shot on Hextall. Save, mate! Score, Larmer! Steve Larmer! 4-2 Rangers!
Well, this is a line that features Greg Gilbert and Sergei Nemchinov along with Steve Larmer. A line that's worked its way into the lineup. Terrific play out front from Sergei Nemchinov. He made the whole thing happen. And a terrific second effort by Steve Larmer. Ron Hextall made the first one, got the first one. But the second one he could not stop. And the New York Rangers now have the breathing room. That is a huge goal from a Rangers standpoint. They have such a high skill level on their team. They can now let the puck do the work.
116 points in 111 playoff games for veteran Steve Larmer. And the New York Rangers, 11 minutes and 20 seconds away from sweeping the Islanders in a 7-game series for the first time in Islander history. They lead 4-2.
Mike Keenan is one of the best, if not the best, at figuring out which guys are going and which guys aren't going. Here's the pass out. It actually went Nemchinov to Gilbert. Gilbert got the original, and then Larmer with the rebound. But we have not seen much of Craig McTavish since the halfway point in this hockey game, except in defensive faceoff situations. Sergei Nemchinov, number 13, has played quite a bit. Keenan somehow spots who is going to pay dividends as the game wears on. And Gilbert and Nemchinov, who started on the bench, have played a lot in the second half of this game.
And it has paid off for them. Last 9:40 remaining. And the New York Rangers can taste the first round sweep. Fans singing it here on the island. Leach poke checks it away, and right now the Islander fans not much left to respond to it. They will if the Islanders can get another goal. But for the moment, they are just sitting and watching. Chenault, and now in front of the bench. Here's what the league and Gary Fraser are worried about. If the Rangers look like they're going to put this away, will it become a chip fest?
Ooh, Mick Vukota actually grabbed, look at Gary Fraser's even in on the act. Mick Vukota actually grabbed one of the linesmen from behind to try and pull him off to get at Jay Wells. The original penalty was a cross-check on Mick Vukota for cross-checking Brian Leach a whole bunch of time after he had actually dished the puck off. And Ron Asselstein, the linesman, is actually administering first aid to Jay Wells in the play, trying to get him over to the Rangers bench.
I think he cut on the eye. Vakota's gone. This is not the way to leave a season. Mick Vukota was one of those in Game 3 who broke his stick over Sergei Zubov's arm, one of 3 situations that really bothered the league and the Rangers. And now Vukota comes back, and you saw that. I mean, he just reached over the pile and was slugging away. Elmore Gandy down there at ice level, Al.
Well, we saw what Vakota did. What you may not have seen is the Rangers just upsetted Keith Acton. He's one of the guys they asked the referees to take a look at what he does. Woodyisms is what they call him. It's Woody Acton is his nickname. For going after, aggravating people, going after him. Vakota had the cheap stick shot, and this is exactly what they wanted Brian Burke, the VP, to look at, the league disciplinarian, if you will. He said he called both teams. He didn't actually call the Islanders. Islanders GM Don Maloney had to call Burke to make sure they didn't get a penalty, as he said, if we just blinked the wrong way. That was certainly more than blinking, and the Rangers' fears looks like they came through here a few minutes ago.
Well, it's one thing to lose and to put up a battle, but it's another thing to lose and to lose without any class, and the Islanders have to avoid that. If they're going to be swept by the New York Rangers, at least keep some class and some dignity on your way out the door.
That is not the way to do it. And the Rangers 3 minutes and 5 seconds away from sweeping the Islanders. Thomas moves in, pulls it back. His shot blocked. Bukaboom blocked it. Malakoff's shot. That's blocked. Here comes Messier. Messier out in front. Messier scores!
The bigger the game, the bigger Mark Messier plays. Along with Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux, I put Mark Messier in that category of big plays at big times. Boy, oh boy. He scored the go-ahead goal for the New York Rangers, and now he has given them goal number 5. What a rip shot, this wrister. You see, he pulled it looking like he was going to deep to the backhand, and when he pulled it, he just ripped it up over Ron Hextall's right arm. One more slap shot for Ron Hextall. He just drilled it down the ice.
17:08. Messier has 4 in this series and 91 in his career. Jeff Bukaboom, the assist that sent him down ice. And the New York Rangers have taken a 5-2 lead over the Islanders. They've scored the last 5 goals in this game. After the Islanders had taken a 2-0 lead, it has been all Rangers. And they are on the verge of sweeping an Islander team for the first time in a 7-game series. You take a look at the most decisive goals for and against in 4-game sweeps. The biggest differential, that 72 series, with a +20 in Boston's favor. You look, though, this series right there, the differential at 19. Just a little salt in the wound for the New York Islanders.
I don't think there's any question now that Don Maloney will have to attempt to retool his team. But the general manager of the New York Islanders said, you know, we have to rub 2 nickels together here with our budget, and the Rangers have an unlimited budget. It is so difficult. Nevertheless, Don Maloney is going to have to do something with this team. They were above 500, the New York Islanders were, one day all season, and it was the last Thursday of the regular season. Other than that, they were never able to get above 500.
Rangers ragging it out. The final 10 seconds. The New York Rangers will sweep the New York Islanders. Richter, tremendous in net. Leach, unbelievable on the ice, and it is not over. There's still 1 second remaining on the clock.
Terry Frazier's waving it off, though.
Good man. Terry Frazier says, let's go. It's done. They run it out. The Rangers have defeated the Islanders 5-2 and swept them in 4 games. Mike Keenan, no small part of that. And for the Islanders, a very disappointing playoff year. Rangers win it 5-2 for Bill Clement. And Elmore Gandy, I'm Gary Thorne. There's a lot more hockey to come this season, but this series is history. John?
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks a lot. The New York Rangers have the sweep, and the Dallas Stars are trying to do likewise to the St. Louis Blues.